Today we will take up the literary term of irony. Now, what is irony? Irony is a literary device in which contradictory statements, contradictory means opposing, contradictory statements or situations reveal a reality that is different from what appears to be true. So, there is a difference between appearance and reality. Okay, so now let's see what is the origin of the term irony. The term irony has its roots in the Greek common character Aaron or iron. It's spelled as Eiron. It was a clever underdog who, by his wit, repeatedly triumphs over the boastful character Alazon, Alazon. And this word, irony, came into English as a figure of speech in the 16th century as one similar to the French ironie, the spelling Irone. So, in French, it was written or spelled as Irone, and it derives from the Latin ironia, Ironia, and ultimately from the Greek ironia, spelling Eironeia, meaning feigned ignorance. So, the first origin that you say that its root, it is from Greek iron, Eiron, and then it's in French it is as irony, Irone, and from Latin ironia, and ultimately from Greek Eironeia. So this is the origin of the term irony. Now there are different types or kinds of irony. Number 1, verbal irony. Number 2, dramatic irony. And number 3, situational irony. So there are 3 main types of irony. Now, what is verbal irony? Verbal irony is a contradiction between a spoken statement and its intended meaning. So, it is in other words, it's a statement in which the meaning is different or opposite from what is expressed or stated. For example, if you come late to class, the teacher may say, if the teacher says, well, you have come very early. So there is a contradiction over here. What she means to say is the opposite. That is, she's trying to ironically point out to you that you are late. But what is she doing? She is saying the opposite. That is, ironically, she's saying, oh, you've come very late to class. Got it? So, this is called verbal irony. Now, let's take an example from literature. In Shakespeare's play, Julius Caesar, Mark Antony's speech after the assassination of Caesar, appears or seems to praise the assassins, particularly Brutus, when he says, inverted commas, I quote, and Brutus is an honorable man, when in reality he is actually condemning them, because they were because Brutus was the one, along with others, who assassinated Caesar. So this is an example of verbal irony. Let's take another example. This is uh, the novel written by Jonathan Swift, A Modest Proposal. Now, uh, Swift makes use of verbal irony in this essay that he writes, in which he advocates eating children as a means of solving the issue of famine and poverty. Now, of course, Swift does not literally mean what he says. Instead, his verbal irony is used to showcase the dire or the bad or the critical situation faced by those people who are very poor or impoverished, and the limited resources or solution. He's drawing the attention of the readers to this bad critical situation of poverty. So, this irony is meant as a call to action among those who are not suffering from hunger and poverty, and to act in a charitable way towards those who are less fortunate. So, today we have done uh, the first kind of what is irony, the definition of irony, the origin of irony, and the first type of irony, that is verbal irony. Next time we'll do the next two kinds of irony, that is dramatic irony and situational irony.